Hello, my headphone homies, and today I'm going to be looking at some SoundPEATS Space wireless headphones and comparing them possibly to the Arya Organic, because I know if you're out shopping for headphones, these are the two main ones you can be looking at. It's like Arya Organic or the SoundPEATS. I don't know. It's up to you which one you go for. But if we just take a quick look at the spec, this one's got Bluetooth 5.3. These, no Bluetooth. This one, 10 meter range. This one, I think you get 2 meter cable, maybe 3 meter cable, so you're going to be able to get further away with the SoundPEATS 123-hour battery life. These ones don't even have any battery life. So it's looking good for the SoundPEATS so far. We'll have to see how they sound. But well, without further ado, let's get these out of the box. Anyway, enough silliness. Usually I wouldn't probably look at these, but we did look at some other cheap wireless headphones, and I thought it might be interesting to look at some that are supposed to be a little bit better. These are supposed to be pretty good value, and also my wife really wants some noise cancelling headphones. She's off on a holiday to Dubai. Let's see if I've got something to open these. But yeah, my wife said, have you got any wireless sound noise cancelling headphones? I'm like, yeah, I have one pair, but they're a bit scabby because I've been messing around with them. But I said I'd see if anyone asked, if any company contacted me, I would see if I could get some. So so I had to say yes to these because then I don't have to buy my wife any headphones. She gets these for free. But anyway, let's have a look. Let's have a look and see what we've got. The packaging seems okay. Seems quite nice, you know, pretty subdued packaging. I quite like the design. SoundPEATS is I don't like as a name. I don't know why. It doesn't sound right. I don't think anyone, you know, if you told them, oh, I've come up with a name, SoundPEATS, someone would go, ooh, that's a good name. I think better naming could definitely be a thing. Let's have a look. Ooh, yeah, nice packaging. Got foam on the inside to protect them. Nice cut foam here. Obviously, probably not great for the environment because I doubt this is recyclable. But it looks very impressive. It's nicely packaged. Pretty good. They don't have too much creak or rattle as you move, which is nice. They seem pretty well made. They smell of cancer. No, they don't. This smells of new plastics. They've obviously been off-gassing a little bit in the packaging, but the pads, this feels like a memory foam. Quite a good quality pad. This is much better than the rubbish we were looking at. Oh, we got those here. So we had those fake Sonys and Apples, which we got in our Christmas thing, and they were terrible. How much are these? Let's have a quick look. These are £69, £70. So, you know, in that kind of mid-range kind of price, I would have thought. Some other ones I got sent a long time. These are ones that I've been using for a while. The Supsu ones, and they've lasted really well. I've been using these for just over a year every day on the way to work, and they've survived nicely. So they were pretty good. The noise cancelling is not great on these, so it'd be interesting to see if it's any better on these ones or whether that's just how noise cancelling is. But these have got supposed to have good noise cancelling, and they've got 2 microphones in each ear, which should help a little bit from for picking up sound. But let's have a look. Yeah, they sit on the head nicely, pretty comfortable. But these seem pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with the quality of the pads and stuff. Like the headband looks a little bit weak. It looks like you could break the headband if you weren't careful. Like, I don't know if you can see that when I stretch it out. You can see that gap's increasing there. But you know, I think you could have a pretty fat head and they would still do it. The clicking mechanism, they click quite nicely. Yeah, compared to the Arya Organics, obviously they're more compact, which is good. So far, Bluetooth, more compact, better battery life. You know, it's difficult. These have got USB-C. These haven't. But let's have a look. I'll plug them in with a cable. We'll take a frequency response, see what that looks like. Do we have a cable in the box? That's the question. Let's have a look. Oh, smells. Smells bad. Right. Okay, cable. Oh, got a USB-C cable for charging. What else have we got in the box of treasure? Okay, there we go. Audio cable. And some instructions. One of the guys who works here, James, our main modding technician, he's got a set of SoundPEATS headphones. I think it might be in here. Well, I don't know. He said he's got some, and that the app is awful. And to be fair, I tried installing it on my phone. My phone has a square screen. It just absolutely flipped out. I ended up having to like mess around with the phone so that it only displayed in a narrow resolution, and then I could just about do it. But yeah, I haven't properly tested it, but installing the software was very difficult on on my phone. And give me a moment. I think I need to get an adapter to plug this into the thing. Right. Okay. 3.5mm adapters. Yeah, unfortunately this is a screw type one. I need to push on. But luckily I have a couple to hand. Let's get this in. Yes, this is a bad decision. I bought 1,000 of these because they were cheap, and then when they turned out they're so bad, I'm like, we can't sell these. They're very, very nasty. So I was thinking maybe we might do I don't know what we're going to do. What are we going to do with 1,000 adapters that are too cheap to sell? I was thinking we might do some art. We might stick them all to a board, paint something over them, do some headphone related art with them, because we've got a few artists we work with. So yeah, we'll find something to do with them, but at the moment I got one for this. It's all right. Okay, let's get those on there. Let's just make sure they're working. Yeah, they work. Let's get them on the test rig. Now then, I don't know whether this is a fair test or not. Obviously, if you're running it cabled, this is what they'd sound like. But I think with a lot of these Bluetooth ones, you've got sound profiles that you can mess around with in the app, so you can alter the frequency response a little bit. But this will give us just a basic reading for what these do without any of that messing around. Minus 20 decibels. Engage. Play. Oh, have I got them the wrong way around? Maybe. These have got the left and the right switch round. When you plug it in with a cable, left comes out the right side. That's not right. Obviously, these aren't used. These are designed to be wireless, but it's weird that it's wired the wrong way round. I will have to have a go on the Bluetooth, see if we can figure out if left and right are the wrong way around when you do it with Bluetooth. Right. Okay. So here's the basic frequency response. It's not awful. It's not amazing. So as standard, we've got quite a big hump in the frequency response, around 300 to maybe 1K, and then it drops down like a stone at about 3K, and then back up. The treble looks all right. It's not too bad. You've got that big dip around 3K, which is something you wouldn't want, and that big hump in the mid-range, which is huge. It's a mountain of hump. But I see a lot of Chinese headphones tuned that way, with the mid-range kind of forwards like that. I think it's a cultural thing. I know the UK, we like a bit more sub-bass. Some countries like a bit more treble, like the Germans. Possibly in the China market, their testers, they like the vocal range boosted a little bit. It's interesting how different cultures have different sound profiles that they seem to prefer. But this is where kind of the Arya Organic really comes into its own. If we compare the two, you can see, if I get that up, Arya Organic, much flatter. So right down to 10 hertz. Like, to be fair to these, they don't drop off. Like, the bass stays pretty flat and drops off at about 40-50, which is pretty good. If that hump wasn't there in the mid-range, it'd probably be all right. But the Arya Organic are better. Like, if you're choosing on sound quality, I'd say the Aryas kind of do perform better there, even if they're not wireless. So yes, if you can put up with a wire and you're choosing between the two, probably the Aryas. But, you know, if you need wireless, no competition. If you need noise cancelling, no competition. The Arya's rubbish at noise cancelling. There's something not right about the central bit of that headband, the way it flexes, but yeah, seems alright. Right, so I've had a good listen, and with a cable, the mids are very forwards, and the treble's a bit rolled off. The bass seems okay, actually. I was looking at the graph. where it doesn't roll off until about 40 hertz on there. So the bass is pretty good on these. Yeah, and obviously they just don't sound as good as the Arya Organic if you're using them wired. But wireless, these are going to sound rubbish. They're not going to do anything for you. Whereas this is where it's their time to shine. Okay, that was quite interesting. With the Bluetooth, the left and right is the correct way around. For some reason, when you plug the cable in, the left and right are swapped, which is weird. So yeah, bass is very good. Really good bass. It drops down very low. It's not too muddy. Mids are a little bit forward. The treble is a little bit rolled off. You're missing a little bit of that sparkle in the high end. But overall, I think these, through the Bluetooth, these sound pretty good. So they must have some kind of DSP in there that's flattening off that curve. Because yeah, when you listen to it with a cable, it's not great. But yeah, through the Bluetooth, yeah, certainly the driver that's in there is very capable of producing the bass pretty accurately. So yeah, good bass on these ones if you're a bass head. Treble quite smoothed off, mids a little bit forwards. But overall, pretty good. Very listen toable. On a long plane journey, these are not going to annoy me. I think they sound pretty good, and I'm sure most people will be very happy with them. They do not sound as good as the Arya Organic, which have just got a certain magic. Like the sound staging is better on these. These have got, it looks like they've got an angled driver and stuff, but yeah, these are just still a little bit better. So if you're going for pure sound quality, between the two, Arya Organic, wirelessness, very good. Another thing I noticed is, I was having a quick play with the active noise cancelling, and that is really good. It's very impressive. It sounds like when you put ear defenders on, everything just drops by like 30 decibels, and your voice sounds really weird because you can't hear it coming back. You just hear it through your bones. So the active noise cancelling is very good. It adds you've got a little bit of hiss when you've turned it on. If you're listening to music, you don't really notice it. It's quite, the noise floor is quite low, but there is a little bit of hiss when you use the active noise cancelling. But that is not uncommon. I think nearly every noise cancelling headphone that I've had, if you don't have any music playing, you put the active noise cancelling on, you get a little bit of hiss. I think that's just the way it is. So overall, these seem very good. Much better wireless than the Arya Organic. Sorry. But yes, wirelessly they work well. The software was a nightmare to install on my phone. And James had a lot of trouble as well, so I don't know whether the app might be a little bit tricky to install. It could just because we've got weird phones. But the active noise cancelling, she works great. Bass good. They feel pretty well made. The headband seems to be probably the weak point. I think that's where it's going to break, if it's going to break anywhere. But as long as you don't sit on them or anything, I think these will be fine. So let's have a look inside and see what ting up guan in there. There we go. Oh, yeah. So you've got microphones on the outside. You've also got a microphone on the inside, so that the noise cancelling can compare the inside and outside. You've got a slight angled driver, which is quite nice to see. All looks pretty well put together. So you've got the hot glue here sealing it in place, which is quite nice. It's quite neat work on some of these cheaper ones. They look like a nightmare inside, but these look like they're pretty well made. Let's have a look inside. I was going to say they're relatively brave sending them in to me because they know I'm going to have a look inside, so they must think they're pretty good. So it looks like you've got a little port or something in there for bass, possibly a little bit of tuning that's gone on in there. That size driver that we got. So the driver in there is probably 35mm. But the bass it was able to produce was very impressive through the Bluetooth. Yeah, properly quite impressed. And hopefully my wife will be very happy with these as well once I get them back together. So it looks like you've got the battery and everything all in one side. So you've got a 1000 milliamp hour battery in there. And then this is the little control board in there. They have put elastic over all of the solder joints, which is pretty good. Overall, these look pretty well made. These are nice. I've seen much worse. Yeah, the amount of little tiny solder joints that they have to do. Someone will have had to do that by hand, which is pretty incredible. But yeah, that's that looks all right. Oh yeah, so you've got so inside you've essentially got a little enclosure here, which the driver's in, and then a port that goes there, which goes outside. And having a separate enclosure sometimes makes the tuning easier because you've just got to tune that bit and it'll be the same the other side because you've got the battery and everything in this side. there would be quite a difference between the two. So having a little separate enclosure for the driver leading to a larger enclosure probably made it easier for them to tune it, and that might also be why you're getting a bit of that mid-range hump. I don't know, I'd have to investigate further, but yeah, so microphone there, microphone on the inside. Overall, these seem pretty well made. Like the plastics are pretty good, soldering's good, and it's also got Celastic over the top of the soldering so no solder joints can pop loose or rattle over time with use. The battery's stuck in there, and it's is it held down? Yeah, it's just held in with sticky tape. So you could change the battery in the future if that started to run out. I would definitely, after seeing the state of some of the batteries in some of the other ones, I would say it's worth probably opening these up once every 6 months or a year, just checking that battery's not inflated, because yeah, we had some pretty dangerous looking batteries in some of the headphones that we got in. Yeah, so they look fine. Like the plastics look like good quality. They're pretty well put together. One thing I did notice is that you've got a foam disc in there, so possibly removing that you might get a little bit more sparkle in the treble. So we'll just have a quick go at that if I pop that out, and then we'll measure them again. Okay, so if we get at the graph now, as you can see, without the foam in there, you get a bit of a peak at about sort of 9K, so it might give you a little bit more sparkle in the treble if you remove that. So if you have got a set of these, you're looking for it to sound a little bit less veiled in the treble, possibly try taking out that little bit of foam that's behind the pad and see how you get on with that. But overall, I think 70 quid, pretty good value. That you get decent battery life, the Bluetooth connected fine. I didn't get any connection issues because yeah, I haven't had many wireless headphones, but I had the III TMA1 wireless, and that had a lot of connection issues. It would drop out, that kind of stuff. It didn't like my phone for some reason, or maybe it's just a general problem with those. The Supsu, good solid connection, and again, these installed the software, connects up straight away with no issues. And these have also got low latency, so if you're playing them games, things like that, a low latency connection with Bluetooth 5 just means you're not going to get a slight delay between what's happening on screen and what happens in your ears. So yeah, great for travel. I think pretty good value. Let me know what you think in the comments. So these are about £70. Active noise cancelling really good, bass really good, treble a little bit treble shy, comfortable, lightweight. Can't really fault them. They seem pretty well put together. I think they're pretty good value. They're fine. I'm sure you can get better, but these seem fine for the money. Much better than the cheap sort of £20-30 ones. They were rubbish. So anyway, let me know what you think. If you were going to choose, which one would it be? Because obviously price-wise, you're looking around £1,000 for these, around £70 for these. These don't have wireless. They don't have active noise cancelling. Value proposition. These are looking pretty good. But yeah, what do you reckon? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, it's been super awesome hanging out, and I'm going to head home and say, hey, wife, look, I have a fabulous new present for you. And she's then going to, I don't know, do whatever wives do when they're real happy about stuff. Cool. See you guys again.